Hello, today is the anniversary of the death in 2007 of William Utermühlen. He was an American figurative artist, fairly unnoticed until he produced, at the end of his life, a series of self-portraits. He was diagnosed in 1995 with Alzheimer's disease and being treated at the hospital in Queen's Square. His nurse, Ron Isaacs, suggested that he might like to do a series of self-portraits expressing how he felt as he moved forward through the illness, and he readily took on the challenge. And they are a dramatic illustration of the way in which Alzheimer's can affect us. Of course, one of the problems with the disease is that we don't know how people feel inside it, because nobody really recovers sufficiently from it to tell us. But it is increasingly prevalent, and I thought we might just spend a few moments looking at some of his pictures and just identifying with the people who struggle with that illness. First in the series is called Blue Skies, and this was done just before his diagnosis, but it does seem to express his need to just hold on to the table, as if everything else was uncertain and it would only take a little gust of wind to sweep him out of the skylight. Then there's one called Studio with Mug. This came in 1996 after his diagnosis, and here you've got a sense of everything floating. He's not quite able to hold the mug, and his features are already beginning to be distorted, as if he doesn't quite know who he is. And then increasingly he began to sketch rather than paint, and in 1996 also came this sketch called Twisted Figure, and it seems to express his inability to find himself spatially, to know where he was, and indeed he did frequently get lost, unable to find his apartment, as well as struggling with ordinary things like how to tie his necktie. This painting from 1997 is a picture of him, but on the right is a picture of a saw. He had donated his brain for research after his death, and this apparently weighed a bit on his mind, this decision, and this picture expresses his fear. He wouldn't obviously be alive, but this fear of being sawed up, even though he knew it was in a good cause. And then as he began to get near the end of his life in 1999, you get pictures like this, called an erased portrait. He no longer knows who he is, and yet he has still this immense creative ability. He's still able to paint, he's still able to express in painting how he's feeling about himself. And it's one of the extraordinary things about Alzheimer's is the way that people do maintain certain things, certain aspects of their personalities, while others completely disappear. And this sketch was the last he did in 2002. He stopped being able to paint in 2000. This was his last sketch in 2002. And I don't think I can say anything about this. We just need to look at it and let it speak to us. Bill died in Hammersmith Hospital, as I say, on this day in 2007. he represents a whole range of people who struggle with this disease. If you're over 75, you have a 1 in 7 chance of getting it. If you're over 85, you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting it. It is increasingly common, and so today just a thought for those who struggle with this disease, and also, of course, for those who have to care for them, particularly their close family, for whom this disease creates enormous distress.